All right, so we've graphed so far using a T-chart. And then we also graphed whenever it was in standard form and we did cover up and found the what? What answer? Which answers? What do you find when you do cover up?
Oh my God.
The X and the Y-intercepts, okay? So this is a new form, and we kind of already did this, but you didn't know what you were doing. Remember that first section when we solved for Y and we got Y all by itself?
It's spelled hard.
What we were doing was we were actually getting it in slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form is exactly what it sounds like. We've been working a lot with M. What does M represent? Slope. How about, does anybody know what B is? Which intercept? Because it can't be both.
It's
It's the Y-intercept. It's the Y-intercept. Now remember, how many points do we need to graph a line?
2, 4.
How many does it take? What's the bare minimum to graph a line? 2. Right? Remember we graphed the two intercepts and we connected them? One point on X and 1 point on Y, right? So we need a bare minimum of 2 points. So what we're going to do is we're going to let slope-intercept give us those 2 points. And intercept is 1 point. But then we're going to talk about how we can apply this slope. Okay? So let me give you slope in another way. I've told you that it's the difference in Y divided by the difference in X, right? Right? So it's M. We said it's Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. What you also need to understand is that this is what students are most familiar with. It's rise over run, okay? You run in a line, you rise up and down, so it's rise, how far up or down you go, divided by how far left and right you go. So for instance, if I told you that I had a slope of 2/3, okay?
That's rise over run. 2 is rise. You rise up, then you run.
Yep. This means from any point on your line, any point, okay? It doesn't matter which point you pick, but from any point on your line, to get to another point, from any point on the line, it doesn't matter what point, but any point, to get to another point on the line, because you need to, you apply the slope. Which in this case means you go up, how many? 2, and right 3. This for you. If I had a point, now remember I said the slope is 2/3. Let's say I have this point, it's just a random point.
So you gotta go to the right 3 times.
So you always go up and then over, or down and then over. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But this would mean I go up 1, 2, and over 1, 2, 3.
Then connect.
And connect. Okay? So that's what it means to do rise over run. Yeah, you should have done this before. All right, so you've got 2 different kinds of slopes that we're going to really work with. We've got positive slope, which is this, and we've also got negative slope. Okay? With positive slope, we go up and right. But with negative slope, you would think, but it's down and right. You always go right. And here's why, Christian. If you started at this point, and let's say my slope was negative 2/3, if I went down 2 and then left 3, look at that line. Is that a positive slope line or a negative slope line? It looks like it's going up a hill, so it's what? Positive. So in order to make it negative, I have to go down 2, but I still go right 3, and it makes it negative. Okay, so always right. So either up and right or down and right, depending on if it's positive or negative. Okay? All right. Let's look at an example on how to graph and slope-intercept form. Well, first of all, let me give you an equation here. Let me do 2. Let's do an easy one and then one that's a little bit harder. What's the y-intercept in this equation? 4. Y-intercept means it's where it crosses the y-axis. Y-axis is that up and down axis, right?
You probably did that on purpose.
All right, how about the slope?
The slope is 3.
3, but I need to express it as rise over run, so it needs to be a fraction. So how do I make that? Close. 3 over 1. Because I need to know every time it rises 3, how many does it run? So whenever I go to graph it, I'll know. What if it's not in this form when I give it to you? In other words, what if it looks...
Wait, that's how we do?
We're going to graph it in just a second. I want to make sure you can identify them first. What if it looks like this? And I need to know the slope and the y-intercept. Well, before you can identify it, you have to solve for y. Remember when we solved for y back in the first section or the second section maybe? So how do you get y by itself? What's got to move?
The 3x.
The 3x. So how do I move it?
Minus 3x on both
Minus
sides.
3x on both sides. Now I have y equals, and I'm going to put the negative 3x first and the 2 second because I want it to be an mx plus b, slope intercept.
Oh, okay.
Now it looks like this one. So what's the y-intercept? What?
I didn't get 2.
It's right there after the equal.
2 minus 3x. 2 minus 3x is the same thing as negative 3x plus 2. I just switched them around there.
Y'all good? No. Wait, okay, what?
4.
That's a different.
This is a new example, that's why I did a different color.
Oh.
Everybody wasn't finished copying, so I'm sorry.
Oh, no way? I apologize.
You do that.
See, I never know what it
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I had the same number of x there, that's why it confused you. What's your y-intercept?
Why you
2.
Why is
The
And
b.
the M is 2, 3.
Hold on.
Huh? Wait.
Hold on. What? Wait.
It's 3 over 1.
Negative 3 over 1. Where are we getting confused? Because this is what we did in section 1,
Everywhere.
where we manipulated the equations. So where are we confused? Are we good on the y equation?
No.
Yeah. Whenever it's no. When it's already in slope intercept form, the number in front of x is the m. The number by itself is the b, which is the y-intercept. When it doesn't look like this to start with, I have to make it look like that, so that I can find the m and the b. Let's do another like that. I'm going to change the page this time. I will change the page between every example from now on. I apologize. Let's say that I have 2x plus y equals 3. I want to find the slope, and I want to find the y-intercept.
The slope is.
Well, what do I have to do first?
Stop flipping. I have to do y minus x plus 3. What? X minus 2x. Go and solve for. Oh,
I get y by itself. If y is not already by itself, you have to get it by itself.
Minus 2x on both sides.
So we're minusing the 2x here. We're minusing the 2x here.
Y.
This side is gone.
Y equals
Because
2x minus 3.
well, look, this is 3 minus 2x. So if I want to switch it around, if I did same, change, maybe that'll help you see it.
Huh?
Because I want the x to come first in my equation. Because remember, it's y equals mx plus b. So I want the x term first, I want the b term last. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We're still just manipulating the equation just like we did in section 1, okay? Now look at the equation. What's the y-intercept? What's the slope? Negative 2
Over 1.
over 1. Don't keep the x with it, it's just the number in front of x. So this means I'm going to go down to right. All right, Christian, what's wrong?
I don't understand it.
Just write it down and figure it out.
Let's do another. Let's graph this one though. They're easy to graph. No, don't change it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the answer?
Yep.
What?
Yeah, but you gotta graph.
All I was asking you to do is find the slope and y-intercept. Now we're going to graph it.
That was it.
For identifying, yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's say I have the equation y equals 1/2 x minus 3. Okay? My first step I want to do is same thing I did before. Make sure
Oh,
it's solved for y. Is that solved for y? Is y already by itself? Yes. All right. Next, what we want to do is identify the y-intercept and the slope. So look at that equation. What is the y-intercept? -3. What's the slope? Does that confuse anybody?
That's all you gotta do is.
So the second step is to, after we solve it for y, in this case it was already solved for y, but I want to put that in there in case you encounter something on it. We just identify the y-intercept, which is the b, and the slope, okay? The y-intercept is the -3, the slope is the 1/2.
That's all you gotta do with that, like that.
Oh, that's all you gotta do, now we're ready to graph.
Oh, okay, that's
Now, graphing should be the easy part for you. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna plot the y-intercept first. Okay? Which axis is the y-axis?
up and down.
Up and down. So if I've got to go -3, that means I'm gonna go down 1, 2, 3, and put a point.
That's it?
Remember, we need 2 points to graph a line.
Oh, so that means you
When it's in slope-intercept form, this is the easiest way to graph it. Now apply the slope. What do I mean by apply the slope?
Rise over run.
Rise over run. I'm rising how many and running how many?
1, 2.
I'm rising 1 and running 2. So it's
1, 2.
this is up 1, this is right 2. Up 1,
Wait, what the way?
up 1, right 1, 2.
Oh. Okay. I did it
You
too.
have to.
Connect the dots.
You know what else you continue from the 3, like the -3?
Yes, yes. You put your pencil on the y-intercept, the -3, and then you do the slope. So you're either going up or down, and then you're going right. No, I got it.
So you always go right?
Always right. Negative slope is down, positive slope is up.
I get it.
All right, let's do another.
Yes. No, we just started on our homework.
Oh, I got to do a few more examples with you.
You.
Thank you.
Alright.
Let's do a negative slope.
Maybe you go left.
It's solved for y, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So what's my first step?
Find
And
the,
it's a line.
Okay. What's the y-intercept?
1,
What's the slope?
-2 over 1.
-2 over 1.
There you go.
And I'm going to graph it.
Yes. That.
So where do I start, or what do I start with?
The y-axis.
The y-axis, it says 1, that's absolutely right, so I'm going to go up to 1.
Now you gotta go down to.
No,
right.
yeah, you go down to and left.
Down to, always right, Zaya,
Oh, okay.
and right 1.
You got it.
And connect. That's it? I got this.
Oh, okay, I get it. Don't forget to stop.
Let's do one more. Okay. Got it? All right, let's do
One in front of the X.
good job, Zaya. Good job.
Yes.
What's the y-intercept?
5.
What's the slope?
1 over 1.
What? What do I start with?
5.
5. The y-axis. Go up 5. Then from that you go up one more time. And go right. Wait, what the x equals 1 over 1?
Well, you don't want to put X because that would represent a coordinate on the plane, so you want to use M to do slope. All right, so up 1 over 1,
Yes. It's cold.
up 1 over 1, connect the dots. Questions?
No.